Africa 54's Laurel Bowman joins us now with the story of an African academic in America. Laurel?
Thanks, Vincent. During the 1990s, when the Cote d'Ivoire experienced political chaos, a young Balla Keita left to study in the United States. His uncle, a national minister of the same name, stayed on and was murdered in 2002. No one knows who did it or why. This mystery led the younger Balla Keita backwards into the political history of his homeland. So this is the professor's gate. You get to go through here?
Yes.
Take me. These days, Balla Keita is a happy man.
We are at the George Washington University.
Okay.
The campus.
You like the campus?
Oh yeah, love it. It's a beautiful campus.
After 2 decades in the U.S., working and studying to earn his bachelor's, master's, and PhD degrees, he's just been named adjunct professor at the George Washington University in Washington, D.C.
Welcome.
This is it?
Yes, welcome.
This is a pretty big deal. I would say a lot of our African viewers would be pretty impressed that you came here as an immigrant, got a PhD, and are now teaching at one of the top universities in America.
This is not the destiny I had anticipated, but with hard work, I surprised myself.
And Balla adds yet another feather to his cap, a book completed and just published about his native Cote d'Ivoire.
Here it is. A political history of Cote d'Ivoire from 1936 to 2011. The politics of ethnicity, region, and religion.
He offers me an autographed copy. Does it feel nice to autograph your own book?
Yes, absolutely.
That must be great.
Yes, I didn't think that they will come. I'm very proud of myself. And the editor put a picture of myself in the back of it.
That is you.
Yes.
You come to America, there are a million ways that you can be successful, and you decide to write a book about your home.
What really drew me to politics was the murder of my late uncle, like I mentioned, and I became curious about politics in Africa. My uncle was the National Minister of Education and Scientific Research, Dr. Balla Keita, was brutally murdered. He was stabbed 18 times, and it was a shock to the family. He was kind of the backbone of the family, supporting everyone, and it came as a shock to the family, and plus the investigation remained open, and we didn't have any follow-up of what happened, and it stayed like this.
Balla Keita thinks his uncle's death was politically motivated. Through scholarship, he has tried to comprehend why everything went so wrong in Cote d'Ivoire. Because when we understand the past, he says, we've got a better shot at the future. Well, joining us here in the studio is Balla Keita the Younger. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Laura, for inviting me.
Well, I have the book.
Yes.
Show the audience. And it was dedicated to your late uncle.
Yes.
I'd like to know what inspired you about him, and what do you think he did to inspire Ivorians?
He was very focused on education. While we were younger, he made an argument about the importance of civic responsibility for students. He made all the students in Ivory Coast stand dressed in blue and white to chant the national Ivorian anthem, and it kind of marked our generation, how important education was at the time.
And he was a minister of education.
Yes, he was the National Minister of Education and also the Minister of Scientific Research from 1989 to 1990. Yeah. Oh. I'm sorry, about 10 years.
Okay. And in terms of what happened to him, what do you think? What do you think happened to him?
Well, it's not clear to us what really happened to him. He was first wounded by his adversary. He went to Switzerland, and he was invited by the president of Burkina Faso, and he was a host of the president, so the family felt like, well, it's okay. And on August 1st, 2002, he was stabbed 18 times and found murdered in his home.
Okay. And I think, as we discussed earlier, this is what caused you to want to look into your past and into the history of your country. What's the book about, and what are the conclusions?
Well, I retraced the political history of the country from 1936 to 2011, right during the Second World War, and try to understand what was the dynamic at the time in politics. And what I found as a conclusion is African politicians often manipulate ethnic relation, regional, and also religious, and that's what causes the problems.
Okay. One of the things that I read in your conclusion that I thought was pretty interesting, and I see that the Brookings Institute also finds it interesting, you wrote this article for them, about professionalizing the political party. What does that mean?
It means a process of concerted effort to build modern political party founded on the development ideas, not on tribal bonds. Because a lot of people in Africa, they join political parties without knowing about a platform. They usually follow the leaders, which is from a same ethnic group, and it often causes problem when they refuse to agree to the result of the election when an opponent won the elections.
And I think this could apply not just for your country, but for many African countries.
Yes, absolutely. As we can see now, the rise of ethnic conflict throughout Africa is really becoming a concern for all observers. The scholars have written extensively on sources of this conflict. But now we need to look beyond ethnic conflict and look into political parties. They need to be professionalized. They need to have a platform that they can introduce to their voters.
Okay. Viewers might be watching, seeing your uncle who was a minister. Do you have any desire to go home and become involved in politics?
Not at this time. I think the academia is more what fits me. I like doing research and seeing how I can help not just Ivory Coast, the continent in general. So I focus on conflict resolution.
Oh, okay, and then just lastly, for people who might see this story, see how you came to America, but might be too scared to do it themselves, do you have any advice for them, students coming?
There's a lot of help. The U.S. government offers a lot of help to students that make an effort. If you really want to study, there's a lot of aids there that you can benefit from.
So financial aid?
Yes, financial aid.
Right,
yes.
And come legally, of course.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us. Balla Keita is Adjunct Professor of Political Science at the George Washington University here in Washington.
Thank you.